Talk to me about what's happening in the United States. The second night shooting in Minneapolis, it's dominating the media in the United States. Give me your assessment.
It's definitely a powder keg. I think the big picture is it is unfortunately a predictable consequence downstream of half a century of policy that the U.S. has pursued in many other countries to greater or lesser extents. Very, very generous immigration policy that turned into suicidal, you could say, just from an illegal immigration standpoint at the federal level. The state and local level, these sanctuary cities and a deliberate dereliction of duty and specifically not cooperating with the feds, which creates this sort of environment. And the third thing is the culture, where the left has won the culture war up until now, at least, was more dominant in sort of normalizing and moralizing, I would say, immigration. And when you have that, then you see U.S. citizens and people like that who feel so righteous in their belief of that cause that they feel perfectly comfortable injecting themselves into active law enforcement operations, which is what this is. And then, unfortunately, these kinds of things happen. The last person that was killed was there with a gun. It's the land of the Second Amendment. You're free to have a gun. You're not free to inject yourself into an active live operation, and that happened. But it makes it tough because this is already a very contrasting viewpoint and very controversial polarizing issue. And when you have things like this happen, it's not a good look. But I think the administration is just powering through, and you're trying to get anywhere from 40 to 50 million illegals out of the country.
And do you think broadly across the United States there is still support for Trump's view that you know, we will control our borders and we will control the people in the country who come into our country?
The big picture, yes. The shift that has happened is remarkable just since he entered the political arena. It's something like 70% of people on illegal immigration, at least, want all of them out, even the nonviolent offenders. But then when you get into the how and the execution of it, this one is very polarizing. The country's very divided, and it's about 50-50. A lot of the Democrats and independents don't like what it looks like, federalizing the streets and sending ICE agents in there. But unfortunately, that is the way it looks.
Some Liberals didn't like the fact that when we said we stop the boats, we'd have to actually stop them. We'd have to put the Navy out there and at the border protection, and things would get messy. But if you're going to do what you say you're going to do...
This is what it looks like.
That's what it looks like. Just quickly, the Supreme Leader of Iran, reportedly in hiding, fearing there could be a US strike. I know that there's been battle group movement for the United States in and around the region. Ooh. Again, another opaque regime like China. Give me your best take on Iran.
Very opaque. I think he understands self-preservation. He's obviously watching what happened with the 12-day war, taking out the nuclear sites, what happened with Maduro in Venezuela. He knows that Trump really, really does not like the idea of the U.S. getting sucked into quagmire and boots on the ground. But he also has seen, as has everybody, that Trump is very comfortable doing these big surgical strikes, taking out people at the top, doing symbolic things like that. And I think that's why he's worried. Regime is very weak with those protests, and that's probably why he's finding himself in a bunker.
And he's unpredictable. And I think that's his biggest strength at the moment with these bad guys, is his unpredictability. Kosha, thank you. Great to be back on the program.